Well, howdy, Yellow Jacket fans. Welcome to Yellow Jacket Football. I'm Carl Gurgis, your host for the show. In a few moments, I'll be joined by Coach James Gage. Football is made to be played offensively and defensively. And, Coach, if you liked offense, I suppose last Friday night was your cup of tea.
Yes, sir. Friday night was two very good offenses going back and forth at each other. And, we felt like we had a good night offensively. I think we had over 300 yards of offense. But Pearland had a great night of offense, and
they did. They did.
You give them credit; they executed very well Friday night against us.
791 total yards of offense, 485 for the Oilers, and we had 306 ourselves. Lots of big plays in the game, and I know we'll get into that action shortly. It's encouraging signs, though, that I know there's some disappointments along the way, but that's why you play the game. You play to improve week after week after week, and that's what we'll do this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we knew going into the season that if we want to be a playoff football team, we were going to have to play with the Pearlands of the world, or the Pearland Dawsons, the Shadow Creeks, the Strake Jesuits. We were going to have to be able to play with those guys. And so it kind of showed us a little bit about where we're at as a program right now, and we know we still got a lot of work out in front of us. But, there is progress being made, and we look forward to another exciting night tomorrow night against Hastings.
And there's some highlights on this game that we want to see, and I know you'll bring them to us shortly.
Yes, sir.
Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back after this. Well, Coach, I know it was a disappointment in the loss, but every time you have a loss, you also have some good opportunities and some good things that did happen. So let's get on into the plays, and we can talk about them as we go.
Okay, let's look at some of the highlights. So we start off on the defensive side of the ball, and again, credit Pearland. They played a really, really good game offensively. So you go back and watch the film. We didn't have a whole lot of highlights, but we did have some plays the other night where, as you can see right here, we got, I think, 10 gray hats in the picture getting to the football. So Larry Vahacek looks like he comes off a block right there, and he's played great up to this point. And, he's a senior, big guy, kind of controls the line of scrimmage. But he's the first one in there, but then you see guys coming from the secondary coming in to help, rally the troops and make the play with them. Okay, so they try to throw a little quick screen out there, and number 20, Gio Gutierrez, makes a great play. He's come a long way. He's a junior that's playing really, really well for us, and he quick trigger here. As soon as he sees it, he triggers, fights through the block. They actually called a block in the back, and then he hangs on for the play. But a big play at the time. It put them in a third down and long. I think they ended up executing, but it gave us a chance to where we felt like we had an opportunity to get off the field. So just a great execution and a great solo tackle on his part.
Good reaction, excellent reaction, as a matter of fact.
All right, so they just throw a little dump right here to their running back, and as you can see, number 9 and number 6, they were really, really strong physical runners. We have Charlie Fox right there, number 44. Marshall Garcia's in there. We're trying to hold him up as much as we can. He ends up falling forward for a couple yards, but we got some guys getting off blocks, again, making plays. Anytime you can stop. Trevor Yarborough, who we moved up off the JV last week, number 30, gets in there. Gavin Guthrie's in there. It was a 3 or 4 yard play, but again, you got to credit their running back for just being a strong runner. But again, you got guys running to the football, not quitting on the play. I think we actually had a penalty on Pearland on the play for a chop block, so that ended up not even counting. I think we bumped them back 15 yards. So, but again, just hustling. You see Gage Johnson coming downhill. Guys are running to the football.
6 or 7 players in the play itself. That's not bad.
Yeah, yes, sir. So, and again, you got to credit the running back for being a strong runner. And we preach first guy get there, hold him up, second guy come and try to get the ball out. So that's what we were trying to do here. Kid was a good football player, big, strong runner.
Yeah, he is.
All right, so they run jet, try to get us to look somewhere else, try to get our eyes, off the running back there. But our linebackers do a good job staying home right there. Trevor Yarborough does, staying home, forcing that guy to kind of bounce it a little bit. But I think that's, again, Larry Vahacek gets off the blocks, the first one in on the play. Again, our defensive line's playing well right now. And I don't know who that was that got in there and made that first tackle right there, the first play. Oh, it's Eddie Parker right there that's at the nose. Comes off the block on the center and wraps up right there on the running back. And then again, freshman right there, Caden Burgess coming into the pile. But again, hold them up and rally the troop and wait for them to get there. But good, just team tackling is kind of what we've been working on.
A lot of jackets around the ball.
Yes, sir. All right, switching over to the offensive side. It was 14-0 at this point, and we actually wanted to call this play the first drive, and we had a penalty on us. And I saw it happen. I said it's going to be there again. So the very next series, we came back to it, just a reverse pass, and that's R.J. Jarvis, who's one of our running backs. We snuck in there at receiver, and he's actually a baseball player, so he's used to throwing, a football and a baseball. And he had a touchdown pass last year against Dulles to Chris Touch, almost on an identical play. But gets the ball out there to Deshaun Peterson, who's wide open, and then Deshaun shows a little bit of his speed right there. It looked like the kid from Pearland, he has to wait for the ball, and they've got the speed on him. But once he gets going right here, he kind of runs away from them there at the end. And then you got to give credit to the referee right there on the sideline too. I think that was the most impressive part to me, is the guy on their sideline. He's backpedaling, and then he opens up. Watch him right here, backpedal. He opens up. He looks like a dang football player right there. I was really impressed. I need to get that guy.
Well, you
see
need
if we
to
can
get his
suit him
name.
up.
Yeah,
see if we can suit him up and let him play for us this week. But big play for us, obviously. Got it to 14-17 and got us right back in the ball game. So we put that on Monday, and we knew it was going to be a good play for us. And when you put a trick play on and it works, you look like a genius. So this week we'll take it.
76 yards.
Yes, sir. It's a big play.
Yeah, get a couple this week. That would be nice to add on, sort of like ice cream.
Absolutely. All right, so we kind of hurt him with a little bit of motion here. Trevor Bokel played great the other night. He's been our starter all year long, and he's getting better and better every time he steps foot on the field. The more reps he gets, the better he's getting. But we run what we call a little load option scheme, and so on our load option, we're actually blocking for the quarterback, and the corner, who's the pitch key, ends up taking the receiver the running back in this case. So there's nobody left for the quarterback. And Trevor showed a little bit of speed right here. Looked like he was going to get caught from the back end. But ends up getting around the corner, and I think it was a 33
yards, yeah.
So he played well, but again, you got guys downfield. Sebastian Cisneros gets up on the linebacker. Elijah Harris gets up on the safety enough to spring us free, and just really good to see us get big plays.
113 yards for Trevor on 17 carries. That's the 33-yard run right there.
And that's one thing we've been working with him. Early in the year, he was looking more to pitch it. And then the Memorial Week, we worked really hard on him getting around the corner and finding the crease and going. And the more he does it, the more comfortable he's getting with it. And it showed the other night. He had a couple of big runs doing it.
That's what makes the Veers such a special offense. When Yeoman invented that, or whatever he did at the University of Houston, it caught on worldwide, nationwide easily.
Yes, sir. So, and later on in the game, we run an option play with him in the corner. He runs right by the cornerback, and the corner doesn't even know he has the ball. So, it is tough stopping the triple option, especially when you got all three phases going. You can hand it to the fullback, you can have the quarterback keep it, and then you add the pitch phase in and get it to the running back. It makes it challenging to stop.
Well, tell him we have 3 or 4 more Thursday night, okay?
Let's do it. All right, this was a third, I think 4 or 5, and Deshaun, he's been a strong runner for us all year long. And this is one thing in this offense, you better have a good fullback, good strong fullback, and Deshaun is just such a hard runner. You can see, I don't know how many tackles he breaks, but he breaks about 5 or 6 tackles and ends up picking up about 8 or 9 yards and gets enough for the first down. So, when you can hand the ball to your fullback and you know you're going to get positive yardage, you feel good about that. But Deshaun has come a long way, and really proud of where he is right now. But he's having an outstanding season for us, and so this run right here is no surprise. He's been doing that all year long.
He had 12 carries for 83 yards and just shy of 7 yards a carry. You could have that every ball game.
We'll take it every time. We try for a +4 mentality. We want +4 every time we touch the ball. So if you can get +7, that's even better. But again, you see us coming off the line right here, just controlling the line of scrimmage, and that's one thing that our offensive line is getting better at. We're controlling the line of scrimmage, and we tell our guys each week, the winner, whoever controls the line of scrimmage better, the offense or the defense, is typically the team that's going to win. All right, another one. This was 3rd and long, and we just called it a simple option play. And that's the best part about the option, is you don't know again who's going to get it. It's 3rd and 15, and we hand it to the fullback, and we end up getting 17 or 18 yards in the first down. So Just a big play to keep the chains going. You see the hustle down here. Dashel Foster comes off a double team, gets downfield, and then gets a big block. This was actually our crush on a corner right there, knocks him on his rear end. But a great read by our quarterback. Lance Savage gets up right there. Doesn't get the best of block, but he forces the guy to kind of run around him and does just enough to help Deshaun find a little clear path.
That's the 20 yards that he gained today for his longest carry of the evening, and he must have been hit by about 7 or 8 players.
Again, he's just a strong runner. He's hard to bring down by one person, and so anytime you have that in this offense, it helps the other phases of the game.
Okay, we'll be back with more comments on the Yellow Jackets, and we'll be so stay with us. Don't run off. We've got plenty of other things to do. We got the game Thursday night, so hang in there. Well, Coach, I know we had some special players of the week. Why don't you get right into that right now?
All right. So our offensive player of the week this week actually went to one of our offensive linemen, junior Finn Matting. And he's having an outstanding year. He actually got pulled up last year as a sophomore and played first game of the year his first game was against Hastings, and then the next week against Shadow Creek, he broke his ankle in the second play of the game. So he missed pretty much about 6 games last year, but he's come back and having an outstanding junior year for us at the right tackle position. And so, excited about his future, but real excited that he's only a junior. But he played outstanding the other night, and he's been playing outstanding all year long.
Well, let's keep him injury-free, and we'll give him the rest of this year and have him ready for next year.
Yes, sir. So our special teams player of the week this week goes to John Hoffman. And if you watch the game, you go, well, he didn't really do a whole lot, but what they did on kickoff the other night, they skied it to about the 25, 30-yard line every single time. And I think every single time it was kicked to him, he fair caught it, which is a tough thing to do when you got 3 or 4 guys running straight down at your face. So he possessed the ball the other night and did exactly what we asked him to do. So did an outstanding job in the special teams for us.
So John Hoffman is our special teams player of the week.
Yes, sir. So our offensive crush, we watched it just a second ago on the highlight, was Dashel Foster, senior. He right guard got downfield and found a corner and went and stuck his nose, in his chest and knocked him on his rear end. And so anytime you got an offensive lineman 25 yards down the field knocking somebody on the ground, that's a good play for us. That's what we preach, is getting down the field and going to find a little guy.
Now be honest with me. If I was handed off, I could get that man to cover for me or to clear the area, and you're sure I could make some positive yardage.
He's doing a good job creating some holes for us. He is. He's having a good year for us. So he kind of played on the defensive line a little bit last year, but we got him over to the offensive side, and he's found a home over there. So he's playing really well at the right guard for us.
So that's our special players
of the week. We got one more, was our big player of the week, and we watched it just a second ago. It was the reverse pass. And so again, R.J. Jarvis with the great pass. You'll see it right here. We pitch it to Daniel Bloom, who then turns around and pitches it to R.J., and on the run, flicks it out there to Deshaun, and then again, Deshaun, with the ball in his hand in the open field, it's going to be hard to catch him.
That's right. The only one he didn't outrun was the official.
I'm telling you, I'm going to get that official's number and see if we can't get him on the bus with us tomorrow when we go play Hastings. So just a big play for us right there, and really excited to see those guys execute.
Okay, so we've got we're a couple of games in the district we've already accomplished. Out of the frying pan, into the fire tomorrow evening. Crump Stadium, we've got Hastings. Tell us a little bit about Hastings.
Hastings is going to be athletic. They remind me a lot of Elsick, and so we've told our kids going into tomorrow night, we better go in with the mindset that we've got to play well. And we've had great 2 days of practice so far with it being a short week. Yeah. We'll hit a quick practice today after school, and then we'll show up ready to go tomorrow. But another opportunity for us to get better, another opportunity for us to go 1-0 this week. And so that's been our mentality, is we got to find a way to go 1-0 this week.
All right, Jackets versus Hastings tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock, Crump Stadium. We'll see you there, and remember, go Jackets.
Jacket pride never dies.